Hello and welcome to Wisdom Bites. Hope you're well. Thank you once again for joining us. Very much appreciated. And in today's video, I'm going to go through some indicators which have told us, based on the historical perspective of the Bitcoin charts, that we have now topped out. I left this little message yesterday on the Twitter page to let you know that one of the key indicators confirming the top of the current rally, which we've just had up to 31,000, it closes tonight, which was yesterday. So 31k was the top, and I will be showing you that in the video tomorrow. This is that video. And another indicator I'm going to show you today is what will predict the correction level for the end of this 60-day cycle. I'll also be going through the 60-day cycle to show you exactly where we're at currently and where we may be heading in the next few days, possibly next 2 to 3 weeks. So if that sounds interesting, then without further ado, you know exactly what to do. Get yourself a cup of tea, sit yourself down, just relax, eyes on the screen. Let's get cracking. But before I begin, the usual polite reminder, please remember everything in my videos is just for educational purposes. So please always do your wider research before you make any investment decisions. So with that out of the way, I'm going to do something which I haven't done for quite a while. And that is, I'm going to start off with a little bit of personal development. It's a subject matter that I've been wanting to cover. I have covered it in the past, but it's a good reminder that we need to be always focused on this particular subject matter, and that is the power of purpose. And as you can see, what this message says, if you can't figure out your purpose, then at least figure out your passion, because for your passion will lead you right into your purpose. So why do I want to choose this subject? I'm going to refer you to the overall 12-year chart for Bitcoin here. If you didn't have the purpose at this point in Bitcoin, which I didn't have, and obviously the majority of people in the world didn't have, you would have missed this move. And if you didn't have the large purpose to achieve success with Bitcoin over here, you would have missed this move. And if you didn't have the purpose at this point to achieve what was possible with Bitcoin, then you would have missed this move. I think you're getting the message. If you didn't have the purpose down here to achieve success with Bitcoin, then you would have missed this big move over here to 69,000 in November 2021. So what am I getting at? We are now at the bottom over here, and we need to sort out our purpose. We need to know in the back of our mind where we're heading with Bitcoin. We need to focus on exactly what we need to do on this journey over here for the next leg, so that when we get to the top of these peaks over here, in the past and in the future over here, we need to know what we're going to be doing. We need to be planning along the way here, because if we don't plan along here, we'll be falling by the wayside down here instead. In order to highlight that point about purpose, I'm going to tell you a little story. Imagine two people, let's call them person one and person two. If you say to person one, I want you to go to London from where we are now, I want you to go to London, which is a 3-hour straight drive, but don't tell him when he needs to get there, except that when he does get there, anytime, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe at the end of this week, when he gets there, to let us know that he's arrived there. And his trip will be all expenses paid, and he won't be out of any cost to himself at all. So he'll be very happy to go down to London from where we are in the north of England now. So you can imagine this person is going to, first of all, be phoning his friends and relatives to tell them exactly that, oh, he's going down to London, he's going to be having all the expenses paid, he's going to be put up in the finest hotels, and he's going to just spend a few days, and he's just going to be preparing to go to London. He may even go shopping to buy some clothes that he wants to wear while he's in London. He may be posting messages on social media to tell all his friends and tell the whole world about what he's planning to do. He may even put his car into service to make sure that the car can get there in good time and be actually safe with the car. And then when he's on his way, either today or the next few days, etc., when he's on the way, he'll just take a relaxing few breaks along the way for coffees and going to the toilet, etc. I think you get the point. So this person actually gets to London after about 4 or 5 days, after doing all that preparation and all that thinking and all that energy spent doing the things that I've just said to you. So he gets to where he wants to get to without the time constraint or without the urgency to get to the destination. The second person, what you say to him is that there is £1 million to be collected at a certain point in London, and you have to get there exactly before 3 hours. And if he doesn't get there before 3 hours, then he will miss that £1 million. What do you think the second person will do differently to the first person? Do you think that he's going to be phoning his friends and relatives to tell them where he's going, how he's going to get there, what he's going to do there? Is he going to go shopping to buy some more clothes? Or is he going to be posting messages on social media and checking his car, etc., etc.? And will he take any relaxing breaks for coffees and the toilets? Of course not. The first thing he'll be doing is he'll be getting his car keys, getting in that car, and he's going to be driving straight out to London to make sure that he doesn't miss the £1 million. So what I'm trying to get at here is that the second person has a different mindset to the first person, because the second person all of a sudden has a purpose. He has an urgency. He's focused on the goal of achieving the result, which the first person isn't. See, once you have purpose, once you have objectives, once you have goals, once you have targets, all of a sudden in your life, you inject urgency, a focus on goals. You become goal orientated, and then you achieve the results and outcomes that will match these. So just like in the previous cycles over here and over here and over here, what I want people to do is to focus on the goal over here. It can be at 100,000, 150,000, 200,000, wherever it is. Don't lose your focus. Make sure you've got your urgency to keep your mind always on the market, and to make sure that you don't get distracted by the people around you, by your careers that you have, with the jobs that you do, with the friends that you have, with the family, etc., etc. Keep your focused hat straight on for the next 2 to 3 years to ride this, so that you can achieve the goals and the results that are actually yours to achieve. I hope you found that message inspiring. I certainly felt very inspired to actually do that message for you. Okay, coming back to today. So what is this key indicator confirming the top of the current rally, which closed yesterday, to show us that the 31,000 that we've just had last week was the top? So this is the indicator here. We're on the weekly chart, and we've got two indicators here, two moving averages. The yellow is the 21 simple moving average, and the white is the 50 simple moving average. If I take you back to 2015, the market had topped out in November 2013 and had a 1-year bear market all the way down here, had a double bottom, and then the 20 crossed over the 50 simple moving average. And that was when we had the first rally after the bear market bottom here. So this top was actually confirmed by this crossover here of the 20 and the 50. Moving on to the next cycle, at the end of 2017, we topped out here at 20,000, and we had this bear market, created a double bottom, and we had our first rally to the $14,000 mark here. And that was confirmed by this crossover here of the 20 going above the 50 simple moving average. So that's 2 out of 2. And this cycle, we topped out over here at 69,000, bear market, call it double bottom over here. The first rally up into the $31,000 mark here. Guess what's happened? It's right on the cross, which confirmed yesterday where it closed, the weekly chart, the 20 crossed over the 50. So based on a historical perspective and context, the first rally out of the bear market has just now topped out. So with a high degree of probability, based on 3 data points now, that we seem to have now topped out and seem to be moving into the correction phase. So is that it? Absolutely not. Let me show you something else. So going back to 2015, so once we had topped out over here in the first rally after the bottoming of the bear market, from the bottom over here to the top, the market came back to the 50% Fibonacci retracement right on here. Second cycle, 2019, bottomed out over here, topped out over here. After this cross, Fibonacci retracement from the bottom here to the 14,000 top over there, 50% Fibonacci retracement, bottomed out over here after the topping out. So if we were to follow that on the Fibonacci retracement, the 50% would be at exactly this level here at 21,977, so call it 22,000. That's where this could be possibly heading for the correction. based on the historical context. Is that all? Well, let me show you something else. Back to 2015, the crossover here, topping out, 50% correction. Look at the 20 crossing over the 100 simple moving average. Where the cross was, although we'd bottomed out at the 50% Fibonacci retracement, this was confirmed by the 20 going above the 100 simple moving average over here. And that was followed by the 50 crossing the 100 over here to give us the full deck of cards, i.e. 20, 50, 100 and 200 lining up. As I've mentioned in my last few videos, once they line up on the weekly chart, you're good to go to the next bull run top over here. So let me just reiterate that. The 20 crosses the 50 top, 50% Fibonacci retracement. The 20 crossing the 100 gives you the confirmation of the bottom of that rally. The 50 going above the 100 gives you the full flush of the 20, 50, 100 and 200. And we're on our way. That's the first cycle. Second cycle, 2019, 20 above the 50 gives you the top. Fibonacci retracement, 50% gives you the bottom of that correction. The 50 crossing the 100 over here, that was your bottom as confirmation. And obviously we had this COVID situation which complicated things. So once the 20, 50, 100 and 200 all lined up, that was our confirmation that we're going up. And so here we are. The 20 has just crossed the 50. We've topped out. We're waiting for the 50, the white line, to come and cross over the red line. They seem very far apart, just like they did in the previous two cycles. But that will be our confirmation that this top and the correction of the 50% Fibonacci level here has now been confirmed. And all we'll need to do before the end of this year or before the halving in April 2024, we would need to make sure that the 20, 50 and the 100 and 200 all line up. So we know for sure the market is going in this direction. At the end of the day, time will tell whether this is going to play out exactly as the first two cycles, but certainly very interesting and food for thought, and it gives us something to hang our hat on. Okay, moving on to the 60-day cycle. So from the start of this cycle, back on the 10th of March, when we bottomed out over here, we've now created a 35-day top. So this cycle has topped out after 35 days. It's a right translated cycle because it's gone past the midpoint over here, the white dotted line from the previous high. And as I mentioned in the last few videos, we were either going to get one more leg up by bouncing from here, just like we did over here, when we bounced from the top after the midway point and then went to a new high. So this was the point where we would have done that. But obviously, as you can see, we've now broken through that. So it looks highly unlikely above the 31,000. So as far as I can see, we're now into the 60-day decline for the 60-day low of this cycle, which ends around here. If it was exactly 60 days, then that would be around 9th of May. And please remember, as I mentioned in the last video, that with Walter Bressart, the creator of these 60-day cycles, he gives a very good flexibility of 10 days either side of the 60-day cycle. So we could end up finishing here at day 50, like we did over here, day 51. So we could end this cycle very quickly with a big fall and then a quick rise back up. Or we could go sideways and make slow inroads into the 60-day cycle. Whatever happens, we just need to be aware that this is the window where we're going to be bottoming out. So we need to keep an eye on exactly where the price movements are once we get into this window here. Now, what I am expecting, as we're coming down here, I am expecting some counter trend rallies along the way before we bottom out anywhere in this box here. The main average I'm looking out for is this blue line here, the 8 exponential moving average on the daily chart. So if you see a rally coming up to this point here, might even wick above the 8 EMA, that is your sure sign. If you wanted to actually take something off the table, that would be the time to take it. Because if you look in the previous cycle, you can see once we lost the 8 EMA, we came down and retested it a few times before we bottomed out. This is what normally the 8 EMA is actually very good at in terms of a reference point for the counter rallies in a downturn. At the end of the day, nobody knows the bottom of this correction apart from the historical context that I've already presented to you. So the 50% Fibonacci level from here, like I said, would take us to 22,000, which would be anywhere around down here. However, as we also know that the 25.2, this level here, based on the historical price action we've just had recently. There's a very strong line over here as well. So we've got to keep that in mind, of course, because that actually makes quite good sense to break that neckline and to break that neckline and then to come back and retest it as support. Once we bottom out anywhere around here, I do see that as extremely crucial, because this is where I will be seeing the bigger move to the 40,000-50,000 that I've been predicting over the last many videos now. So once we do come into the bottom and bottom out, the next cycle is the one that will take it to between 40 and 50,000. And then after that, once we get into this window over here, this will be where you get a bigger correction of the 30, 40, maybe even 45% correction. I don't know if anybody with a keen eye has noticed something about this pattern developing over here. It seems to me there is a head and shoulders pattern developing. So it could be that we come back down here to the 26,700 level, then move back up towards the ATMA and make another shoulder here before we have the flush out down here in this window. And that would be a prelude to starting the next cycle over here. So looks to me as though this is the beginning of a head and shoulder pattern. And the measurement for that would be around about 14% from here, where we are at this neckline, and that would take it down to around 22.7. So that's not too far off from the 50% Fibonacci level I gave you. Okay, only time will tell. We've only got the charts to look at and what we can actually make sense of here. Okay, so if you enjoyed listening to these indicators from the historical perspective, telling us exactly what could possibly happen in this cycle here, then you will really enjoy listening to the indicators I'm going to show you, which are showing the next top over here. So that next top is being shown by another set of indicators on a different time frame, which I will be sharing with the Bitcoin Miners Club members on Wednesday this week. And those indicators are telling us exactly when the next top will be and the level the next correction after that will be coming back to. It is absolutely mind-blowing. If you want to join us for that video and much, much more, then all you have to do is click the link button on my channel here, or below any of my videos over here. There's a link button in the description box, as well as below all my videos here. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, there's also the link for the Twitter in the description box below all of my videos. And that will give you access to all the videos and all the information that I post on the Bitcoin Miners Club members board, all the way down here. So you'll have access to all the special features on the Bitcoin miners that we've done on 6 of the high potential, high reward companies, and as well as the detailed analysis on many of the Bitcoin miners. Okay, so we'll leave it there. I hope you found value in the video. If you did, then please do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you want to leave any comments, questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.